Okay, this is video number 3. Remember, ask your parents before you use any supplies or use anything that's sharp. Make sure it's okay with them. Make sure they know what you're doing. So one thing I found out after I finished the last video was that when you're making the little things for the legs so they stand, the little cuts, you actually want to cut the bottom thing the least amount that you can, because it's going to go all the way up to its end on the other piece of cardboard. But if you don't have as deep a cut in this piece, it will stay stiffer, so it's less wobbly. Okay, so I have my. So you can play around with that and get what works best for you. Okay, so now we're going to do the neck and the head. So, neck for a giraffe, paper towel roll. Now, on the cardboard that I had, on the box that I had this cardboard that actually has, like, it's already cut like this with this kind of cool shape. So I'm going to try to use that for the head, since if I cut it here, which you'll see in a second, it looks a little head shaped. Now, again, I would use a ruler, and just to be able to make, or something else. Let's use the envelope again, in case you don't have a ruler. So I'm going to use the envelope just to draw a straight line. I'm not really measuring anything. I just want to have a straight line to cut. Oop. So I'm pushing against the side of the envelope. That's a pretty straight line. So I'm going to cut this to make the head, and I think I'm going to have to make it a little bit shorter, because I feel like with my tissue box, this head might be too big. So there's going to be a balance issue. So you might have to make a couple of different heads, because once you put it together, depending on how long your legs are and how long the head is and other stuff, your box, your body and legs might not balance that well. So this feels a little long to me when I compare it to the box, because it's actually longer than the box. So I'm going to cut it. And if the first one doesn't work, then I'll do another one. Okay, so I'm going to just cut some of this off. Okay, looks like a good head shape. Now, here's where it gets tricky, because I only have one paper towel roll. This is also where you're going to use that slit thing again, the slit technique. So and hopefully this works, because I have not done this before. Again, this is my first prototype, because I only have one paper towel roll right now. So I want to cut some slits in the cardboard and in the paper towel roll. So I want the head to be a little bit, back over the neck like that. So the back of the head, I'm not sure actually. Well, you do it how you like it. I'm thinking of a giraffe head. I guess it's not really over the back, but I need to have a little space here. So I'm going to make it's going to go in the middle of the cardboard roll, so I'm going to make a little mark here. And a little mark here. And that's where I'm going to try cutting my slits. I think since I have lots of cardboard, but I only have one paper towel roll, I'm going to cut the head slits first, and that way if I mess it up, I have more cardboard, but if I mess up the paper towel roll, I don't have another one, I guess I could cut pieces off, but let's see how it goes. So, I made some little marks. I'm just going to try slits that are this size. See what happens if I put it on the paper towel. Now, paper towel roll cardboard is pretty thin, so you might want to bend your pieces. Okay, so that actually worked pretty good without even cutting slits in the paper towel roll. So maybe that's the way to go with the head, just because this paper towel cardboard is so thin. Okay, so now I have a head. Still, no tape. Now, you might want to draw on your head. Actually, it would have been smarter to draw on it before I put it on here. So if I want to have some eyes, maybe a smile or something, and no nostrils so it can breathe. And on the other side, my eyes look the same. Obviously, if we were in the maker space, I would give you googly eyes for this, but we're not. Okay, so I don't know, doesn't match great, but it's good enough for now. So I'm going to put this back on in the slits on the paper towel roll, being careful not to smash the paper towel roll. So there, now I have a head. I really can't show you the whole thing, but you can see that looks like a head. I could have cut some ears in this head too, which maybe I should have done. Like that. There's a way to make ears that stick out by using little tabs, and maybe I'll do that one in a different video, but you can cut a piece. So that you would have to cut little slits in the cardboard, going like through it without going over to the edge. I'm not sure. I'm worried about you guys doing that at home and trying to poke sharp scissors through it or a knife or something. I don't want you doing that. So we're just going to leave it like this for right now. Okay, so I have my legs, I have my neck and head. The last piece is to put it on the tissue box. And I have to try to figure out right now, if I don't think I can make that video like this. I'll have to make it where you can see better what I'm doing with I'll have to use my phone for that. Okay, but we got head, legs, and tissue box. Head and legs. And what I'm going to try to do with the tissue box is poke some holes in it so I can cut some slits for the legs. Or I might end up squishing the cardboard a little bit or something, like bending it a little bit so it goes in there, because we want to figure out some way to make the legs stick in the cardboard and not wobble around, so they have to be like secure. Again, I'm trying to do this for you guys with no tape in case you don't have tape at home or your parents don't want you to use it for this. They may need it for other stuff. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say on this one, and now I need to go try to figure out how to do the last video where we put everything together. If you figure out something that's better than what I'm doing, I would love it if you would take a picture of it, put it in somewhere. If you can get on my Google Classroom, you could put it in there, or you could send it if you're in a class where your teachers have Seesaw or one of those. You could send it to them and ask them to send it to me. But I'd love to see what you're doing, and I know that you guys a lot of times come up with better ways to do things than I do. So any improvements that you make on my prototype, or it's actually a prototype of the method, I would love to hear them. Okay, but remember, ask your parents before you do any of this stuff, and any mess that you make sure you clean it up, so that you're not annoying people. It's bad enough. It's bad enough that we're stuck inside, and probably, most of you have little brothers and sisters that might get annoying, so you don't want to be making a mess and having more stuff for your parents to have to worry about, or older siblings or grandparents or whatever adults are there with you. So make sure you clean up after yourself. Make sure you ask permission before you use anything. Make sure you tell them if you're using scissors, and make sure it's okay with them. Okay? Check with your adults about whatever you're doing when you're making. Okay? Okay, so bye for now.